Greymark, and I'm here with a little bit of Dark Souls 2. Been playing this game a lot lately, pretty much since the first day I could. I had it pre-ordered and everything, so I was right in from the start. I was very excited about that. Almost a little bit too eager, actually. I installed it well ahead of time and had to wait. I was very disappointed in that. If you don't know already, Dark Souls 2, this game is the sequel to, obviously, Dark Souls 1, which was a pretty gruesome and, or maybe not gruesome, but very difficult action RPG.
What seems to be the
that was pretty gruesome too.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong. Bits of it was pretty gruesome. There were some pretty horrific moments, just in terms of the graphics of the game, which were, you know, pretty good for their time, but not as good as some.
I don't know how Dark Souls 1 ends, but I guess I'll just have to follow the plot as well I can.
Well, the plot of Dark Souls 2 isn't related to Dark Souls 1 in any way, shape or form, so...
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you don't need to know any of that.
Is it like before or after in the timeline?
I have no idea.
Different universe, or...?
You know, I actually just don't know. It could just be, a different part of the same world that the original Dark Souls was set in. It could be, you know, a different universe entirely. I doubt it, because there are a lot of very similar elements, like souls, etc. Also, this is my good friend Zygi, part of the Unrankables team that we have for League.
Yo.
Thought I should probably mention that. What are we naming this thing? Let's just name it Unrankables. Oh god. I can't spell today, help.
Such typing. Very well.
Yeah, that's right.
At least
That's gonna be really awkward if anyone invades me. It's like, what the fuck is Unrankables? I'm not gonna spend too much time on character creation, it's just a bit of a sort of a vanity thing for single player. I don't think we need to waste too much time on it here. That's like the humanities of the original game, so that'll give me humanity whenever I pop that. There isn't the old humanity counter like there was in the original game, you just have humanity or you don't.
deep into your past.
Right.
Which was actually something that I missed from the original game, because I liked collecting up that and increasing my item drop rate and things, but there are other ways to artificially increase that in this game. Rusty coins being one of them. Alright, so let's just skip past this a little bit. I'm gonna start with the swordsman. I used to play the knight a lot, but I've started playing the swordsman a lot more just because it's a lot more in line with what I like my end-game build to be. High dex rather than high strength.
No different, I should think.
For people who are new to Dark Souls entirely, the game has a soul-based currency system where you, every time you kill something, you get souls for it, and there are a variety of other ways to give yourself souls, including selling things to a couple of NPCs, or one NPC in this game, or breaking souls that you find in the environment. They're an item that you can pick up and then you get various souls from them. It's just a currency, it's like gold. And that's used for everything in the game. You level up with that, you upgrade your items, you buy new gear, you buy other consumables to use, everything. Opening up new passages, all of that stuff is done with souls. And the game has two different sort of soul...
Damn bitch, clean your teeth.
Yeah, no, that was pretty disgusting. You need to go see a dentist, old lady. Yeah, so there's soul memory and there's soul level. Soul level is completely irrelevant in this game. Those were just the DLC items that allow me to get into the DLC areas. Soul level is completely irrelevant in this game for the purposes of PvP, but soul memory, which I'll talk about a bit later, has been the source of a lot of controversy and is essentially the sum total of every soul you've ever collected. Yeah, so I'm gonna just dash through the tutorial area. I don't need to go through all of that. I've done this a lot. I'm a bit of a veteran of the game. I'm not a particularly great player, you're all gonna see me die a lot. I'm particularly prone to falling off things, especially early in the game when I'm not certain of my roll distance. Oh god, my stamina is so appallingly bad right now.
As a note, I don't own this game, I've never seen this game, I have virtually no idea what goes on during this game, I'm just watching. I don't own it at all. God, that's a lot of messages.
Yeah, yeah, there are a lot of messages.
Those, I suppose those are all tutorial messages.
They're mostly just, like, if I go back and have a look at it, also, gorgeous view. If I go back and actually have a look at it, most of them are just, praise the sun. Okay.
Okay.
Praise the sun. Yeah, most of them are just praise the sun. It's like, yay, we're into a new game. Praise the sun. There's a couple of bits and pieces I'm going to grab around here. Pays to know the environment of the game. I've got a little bit of advantage on people who are just starting out because I know where a lot of the secrets are. Just got a morning star and a cleric's chime.
That's not precarious at all.
You'd be surprised how many times I've fallen off that because I've misstepped.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Okay, so this is the hub. This is the sort of like the main town that you use. All of the vendors at some point or other, apart from one, I think, turn up here. However, there are 3 other blacksmiths that go to various places. Oh, come on. This is the Emerald Herald. She's kind of enigmatic. No one really knows anything about her. Except for what is told to us in the plot. Oh, come on, get through your dialogue. There we go. Now I can just activate her whenever I need her. For the start of the game, I'm just going to go and join the blue acolytes, because if I get invaded early, I'm going to want help. And if any of the blue sentinels are wearing their rings, it should help me out. So I just talk to this guy, and I'm just skipping through all this dialogue to get through the earlier stuff. It's not really that important. Come on, there we go. Okay. So, I've just joined a Covenant. For those of you who have no idea what Dark Souls is, Covenants are PvP organisations that allow you to gain certain benefits and disadvantages for PvP content or cooperative content. In this case, the Way of the Blue Covenant means that if I'm ever invaded by practically anyone, if there is a blue sentinel with their ring equipped, they will be summoned into the world automatically to help me and to fight off my invader. So that'll help if there's anyone preying on noobs or low-level
This seems
characters.
terribly inconvenient. Imagine just wearing that shit and that being like, I should go and do something important. Nah, nigga.
Well, usually you would only equip the ring if you knew, if you were in a position where you're comfortable being summoned to a world to help someone else.
Yeah, oh, that's okay.
Yeah, that's grim. I'm just
That's a big hole. Is that a hole? It looks like a hole to me in the peripheral vision.
It's a hole.
I guess that's a hole. That is a hole.
Yeah, it's a hole. I've actually got to jump down there to get to one of the main parts of this game. Like in the original Dark Souls game, there are 4 sort of avenues that you can go down to progress through the game, and then you sort of you get funneled into one avenue of progress. You have to go through all 4 of the avenues, unfortunately, or you can just farm up a whole bunch of souls and bypass it, but that's boring, and we're not going to be doing that. Where do I want to go first? I think I'm going to go up here. Yeah, there's not really much I can talk about here. I'm just trying to get through the beginning areas. Take a note of where I'm finding all of this stuff, because, if you ever play this game, it's nice to know where some of the helpful things are. Should I increase my Estus Flask before I go down? No, but what I do want to do is I want to swap that and just two-hand it. There we go.
Would you say you know where all the secrets are? I mean, I know you do study this game quite religiously.
I would say definitely not all of the secrets. Certainly not off by heart. I couldn't just, go through every area and just tell you where all of the secrets are. Like, I know full well that there are a couple that I've left behind in that area, just because I don't really need them right now, and because it's going to be a pain in the ass to go and grab them and then run all the way down here. But I would say, barring the DLC content, I could probably access all the secrets in this game if I tried. But the DLC content is so recent and so difficult that I haven't had a chance to fully explore it yet.
Right, yeah.
I
meant besides the recently released DLC.
Yeah. I have to admit, there are a bunch of places within the Dragon Eyrie, one of the points later in the game, where there are just a whole bunch of things that I just have not been able to access yet because I'm not sure or unwilling to try and do the jumps required to meet them. Because the area is just a bunch of sort of rocks, pillars of rock floating in midair, I suppose, with bridges between them, and you've got to leap from those bridges to get to other places.
Whoa.
This is going to take a while to kill this guy, but it's worth it.
He's so slow. I fight these guys a lot. They're a really good way to farm souls early on, but I'm just killing that guy to get him out of the way while I go down here and activate the bonfire. I'm not going to go through this area fully. I suppose I probably should, seeing as we're just doing a playthrough. I'm not really trying to rush anything, so I've got the time to sort of hang around and sort of explore areas. So I guess I'll clear this place out. Usually I can actually avoid this entire section of the game because it's unnecessary to progress. It's sort of like extra content. Side quest, question mark?
Not really, it's just an alternate route to get to... Come on, roll, there we go. It's sort of like extra content to get to, or an alternate path rather, to get to one of the main avenues of the game.
Right.
Namely the Lost Bastion, I think. This guy's an asshole.
Isn't he just virtually the same thing?
Yeah, he does a lot more damage though, and his attacks are harder to avoid at low levels.
I see. Yeah, he does have a big mace.
On the other, he also doesn't respawn, and he has a unique drop that I want. Real good.
Oh, get shreked, son. My view of the game is a bit low res, but
Oh, you're not missing much.
yeah, just for a second I was like, he doesn't look any different at all. Oh, he's got a big mace.
Okay, so what I just picked up was Sublime Bone Dust, which is going to let me reinforce, i.e. strengthen, my Estus Flask. The Estus Flask is your primary healing item in the Dark Souls universe. I'm just going to bail from this area now, that's all I needed from here for the moment. It is a consumable item that recharges when you reach a bonfire, so you know I can use this now and it'll go dark. You can see in the bottom there, my Estus Flask. And then when I go this, it'll refill it. You can get upgrades for the Estus Flask, namely strengthening the amount that it can heal and number of charges. I'm going to do both of those now. I'm just travelling back to the main bonfire quickly.
Whoa, does travelling cost anything?
Yeah, no, it's in the first game you got access to quick travel after you beat the terrible twins. What were they called? Ornstein and Smog. Smog?
Is that
I
a
never knew how to
shard you
pronounce
found?
that. Smog.
Here,
Yeah.
let me see it, to see light.
So you got quick travel when you got to that point, but only to a certain number of bonfires. In this game you get quick travel right from the start and you can access every bonfire in the game.
Right.
Okay, so I'm just going to talk to the Emerald Herald here and upgrade my Estus Flask. So I used an Estus Shard there to give myself an extra charge on my flask, so now I've got 2.
That's why you started with like 5 in the old game.
You did, yeah. It's a lot more punishing this time, but there are other healing items to account for that. And I'm also going to burn my Sublime Bone Dust, which will increase the strength that I have with my Estus Flask. That Estus Flask shard I found was actually on that decapitated, well not decapitated, but hung body that came up out of that well.
Oh, okay.
There of the
And to access that you need to hit
seek
the
the
rock
king, lest
sitting
this
on the edge of
land
the,
swallow you.
sitting on the edge of the well. Now, you can't level up at all of the bonfires like you used to be able to. You can only level up with her, which is annoying, but whatever.
Damn, that sucks.
Yeah, so as you can see, all my stats apart from Dex are freaking horrible right now. Vigor, Endurance, Vitality, Attunement, Strength, Dexterity, Adaptability, Intelligence, and Faith. We're not going to be using Intelligence, Faith, or Attunement at all. Those are for mages. I'm sort of a jeweler. I don't use magic at all. I'm terrible with it, so yeah. We'll probably be upgrading our Vigor, and these 3 I'll upgrade a lot because I like those stats. They're all just generally good. Adaptability increases your ability to, deal with sort of status effects, and also it increases the invulnerability frames in your roll.
So when you roll in the game, which is just a space tap on the PC, you have vulnerability frames during that roll, so you can't take any damage. And it's one of the core mechanics of the game for people who don't play this a lot, or haven't ever. And increasing your adaptability increases your ability to, not die horribly. We're going to be maxing dex at some point because the weapon I'm going to be wanting to use later has only got dexterity scaling, so that's that. For the meantime though, I want to increase my stamina because I need more stamina. I hate having a tiny stamina bar, it sucks. Okay, so that's pretty much that. I could, I guess, farm that area a bunch, get some souls, and then go into other areas, but at least just for this first recording I want to go around and have a look at a couple of different areas and get you guys familiar with the world a little bit before I...
Those white sons of bitches running around, are they just, like...
Oh, those guys, that's,
images of other people?
yeah, that's just images of other players in their games that just pop up in my game.
Does that ever get annoying?
Not really. Sometimes it can get disconcerting when you notice one of the guys who's running around and you're like, oh my gosh, did someone invade me and I didn't notice? But it's very difficult to be invaded and not noticed, so I mean, it's practically impossible to be invaded and not noticed, so sometimes I guess I'm just fooling myself, but whatever. This isn't really a secret, but it is somewhat of a shortcut, I suppose. If we just grab this...
I'm waiting for the first time. Just fall off something.
Oh, it'll turn up soon, I'm sure. It's just a bit of a shortcut to get that instead of having to run all the way back up the river. Okay, so we're in the Forest of the Fallen Giants here. This is pretty much the, it's the official, I don't suppose official, but it's really just the first area you get to, or should get to, because it's, these guys are pretty weak. Come on, backstab. Oh, whatever. Just backstab animation not working. Okay, once you've stopped flailing, we'll talk.
He didn't talk to him at all, he just stabbed him in the face.
Yeah, well, I don't have time to chat, I have to, go and do things.
You lied.
Well, I'm sorry.
That's what it is to me. You're not the one that you stabbed.
I mentioned other healing items, that's life gems. For the most part, there are others. Dragon charms and Elizabeth mushrooms and things. No, out. There we go. Good lads. Okay, another thing about bonfires, for people who have no idea about this game, they reset all the enemies in the area. In the first game this was permanent, every time you went to the bonfire all the enemies would reset. In Dark Souls 2 it reaches a cap, once you've killed enemies in an area a certain number of times they stop respawning. Which is both frustrating and good in some ways. A lot of people, myself included, think that it lowers the difficulty of the game somewhat, because you don't actually have to learn the patterns and fights and things that you used to in the first game. You can actually just zerg the enemies one at a time until they're dead and then just carry on. If you're not very skilled at the game, you can just kill the enemies one at a time, removing them from the area. Ow, fucking archer. And it just reduces the quality of gameplay somewhat. So I don't really agree with it, but, I do. On the other hand, it also reduces the number of souls you can get from any one area, which is supposed to discourage grinding. Just staying in the area and killing everything in sight for souls over and over again. But, I mean, I really disagree with that too, because it should just be the player's decision to grind if they want to, rather than being forced not to.
Well, I suppose the idea is to have to approach certain areas at a certain strength level, rather than just being able to farm boring little guys until you can take them places.
You cut out of them.
I was going to say, wouldn't the point of that be to, force some things to actually be a challenge rather than just being able to farm little guys first?
Yeah, and normally I would agree with that, but the idea of grinding to increase your level slowly over time was sort of like the core mechanic to avoid, really, really terrible players from just being punished constantly for not being able to actually just get through it, a boss fight or something, like the Four Kings was a really good example. In the original game, it was arguably the hardest boss fight, and a lot of people really struggled with it, myself included. And the only reason I beat that was because I was able to just farm one of the areas constantly, upgrade my level, and just sort of I'm trying to think of a word here, it's not coming to me. Just sort of bash my way through it, I suppose. Now that guy is an asshole, and we're not going to fight him just yet, because he does a lot of damage. On the other hand, he has got a sword that I want, so we're going to do it at some point. I do need to clear out this area before I do it, though, because it'll get me in trouble if I don't. Wake up, come on. I need to go kill that archer. So, for people who played the first game and didn't play the second game, you'll be noticing a distinct increase in sort of graphical quality, especially on the character models, which is something that a lot of people on the PC really appreciated because we got sort of shafted when the original game was ported. The DLC, not the DLC, what am I talking about? The port quality was absolutely appalling. We should not have been hit by that. Come on,
Yeah,
come
I did play the first game. All of the PC port functions seemed rather clunky.
Yeah, especially the fact that all of the controls were listed as, you know, Xbox 360 controls. That was always something that pissed me off.
Yeah.
Okie dokie. So, oops, that's not writing, that's a bloodstain. Plus no right, there we go. Okay, so I've actually got the second short sword I need now. So, I used to really not be a fan of dual wielding at all, but lately I've found it's really effective in PvP because a lot of people don't really know how to deal with it. Especially if you've got a high stamina bar. If you catch someone off guard, you can just wail away at them and there's nothing they can do. And especially early in the game when I don't sort of have a lot of resistances or anything, I'm really going to need to take advantage of it if I get invaded.
Do I smell some cheese strats?
Not really cheese strats, I mean, dual wielding is in the game for a reason. I can't even power stance yet, which is even more OP, but... Okay, we're gonna try and kill this guy. I fully expect to die the first time because it's been a while since I fought him, but we'll see how we go.
Just chill out. What's he doing?
I'm gonna try not to let him hit me, but if I do, then you'll see just why I'm so terrified of this guy. He does a lot of damage. Oh god. Nope, 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 nope. Ugh. Life gem plus. No! No! Why is there a lantern there? That nearly killed me. Roll, roll.
Oh shit!
It's alright. I used an Estus Flask there so that it would actually give me enough health to regen me through his swing. Come on, get around.
Oh, it's strats.
So we're slowly winning. I'm actually doing a lot better than I thought I would. Oh god. I hate that attack. It's so sudden.
Oh.
Usually I do this with the knight, and the knight starts with the broadsword, which is a much better weapon for this fight, because it just... Oh god! It just does much better flat damage. Alright, start your swing pattern, come on. Oh god! That was close. Like I said, I have a propensity for falling into holes. Come on, start your swing animation. There we go. I need to get behind him, I want to backstab. Just a moment. There we go. I fully expected to die, so I'm actually doing much better than I thought I would. Nearly there. Oh god! Okay, just die. There we go.
Oh.
Okay, so we got the Heidi Knight Sword, which I can't use yet, but it is a weapon that I'm going to want to use later. If I look at my short sword, you can see it's just got 110 flat damage there at the top. If I just here. But if we go to the Heidi Knight Sword, you can see it's... Yeah, let's just select it. It just hovers over it. Come on, there we go. It's got 75 damage there, but it's actually got 50 lightning damage, which pierces most resistances, so it's just a better weapon. Even though the flat damage is, you know, only a little bit more, it ends up doing a lot more. And because it scales better, just with its damage, you know, when you upgrade it, the damage increases a lot stronger than the short swords is. It's just a good weapon to carry you through. It's the weapon that I used to carry me through my first run of this game, actually. Hi guys. Let's not do that for just yet. Come on, lock on, there we go. And again, there we go. Whew. Don't like using life gems because they're a limited resource unlike your Estus Flask, which regens. Learning to
But
hit
I take
multiple...
it,
Sorry?
isn't the point of them that you can use them while moving?
The life gems, yeah. Also, they're sort of like a supplement. Like, at the start of the game, you have, you know, only 2 if you're smart Estus Flask charges. Ow, ow.
Right.
So,
Where did I get it?
so they're sort of like a, okay, here, you know, we understand that you don't really have enough charges to get through this area, so you can have a little bit extra. It's sort of like a compensation for not having the 5 that the original game had. I'm just gonna go and deal with this guy first. Come on. Divide and conquer. Best way to play this game. Alright, I'm going to get to the next bonfire and then I think we're going to end the recording because I can't, for the life of me, figure out how long we've been going for. I forgot to time it.
Shit, that should have been my job.
Next time it will be.
Hashtags.
Oh god! Oh, that was awkward. Oh, he came down. Hi there, friend. That was
Wrong
convenient.
neighborhood.
Sorry?
Wrong neighborhood.
Yeah, a little bit. The major reason I wanted to come here was because I get myself the buckler, which is a light shield, meaning that, you know, if you get hit while you've got it up, you get staggered a lot easier. But, however, it has a really long parry animation, so, like, normally, if I equip this, that's the parry animation. So, I've got to land an enemy's attack right in the middle of that to actually parry the attack, but with the buckler, if I equip it, I think I've got enough stats to use it properly. I do, in fact, have that. See that? I can land the attack in a much longer parry animation, so I might even be able to demonstrate with this guy. Come on, wake up.
I thought you were dual wielding stuff.
See, there we go. Yeah, I am, but there is a boss called the Pursuer, which is coming up where I'm going to want to parry him because he does so much damage.
Okay.
Like, usually I would just go straight up with the dual wield, especially if I was playing the Knight, because it's just got better resistances and I can tank through the damage more. But the Pursuer does so much damage to the Swordsman class that it's just not worth trying to just out-DPS him.
Fair enough.
And he moves... I don't know, sometimes I can actually just do that fight without getting hurt at all, because I'm okay with dodging him. Sometimes I screw up completely and get cursed. It's variable. Anywho, that's probably going to be the end of the first recording, just because I have no idea how long this has been going. Expect another one up soon-ish, because I might just keep playing yet. So, yeah. My name is Lucian Greymark, and...
I'm seeing you guys.
see you guys.